Sure.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of with Wine Down Wednesday with your ghetto smoggy here. And tonight I'm drinking a nice glass of Menage a Trois, y'all. This is one of my favorite brands of wine. So I think we've introduced this on the show before. You can always catch this Menage a Trois. It's always on sale at Rouse's, and you can always get it at Total Wine and anywhere that sells um, a good brand of store bought wines. So this is good as this you're gonna get. If you are a fan of the vineyards, this is a great red wine right here. It tastes like blackberries. It's a mixture of fruits. It's very smooth. You can take the chocolates and all the different flavors that are mixed in the wine. So and it pairs well. And of course, red wines always pair well with one of my favorites, which is good old lamb. I love me a good lamb. So you can always drink this wine, get you some hard cheeses, crackers, any type of red meat. Usually goes pairs well with a red wine. And one thing I notice about red wines, like most people that I know drink red wines, usually drink brown liquors also. So because it's smooth and it's relaxing, and yeah, it's just really relaxing. So tonight, our topic is when New Orleans writes back, audience, and we have a special guest on here. Again, it is my cousin Justin. He's gonna talk a little bit about everything tonight. And if it's your first time here, as you know, we talk a lot of shit on this show and we never stay on topic. So that's one of the things we do. We never stay on topic. So tonight we're just gonna have good conversation about culture, growth, and identity. And and how this young man's story became to be as it is. And if you guys can feel free to kind of call in with questions about and just ask questions because we're going to be talking about some interesting things. So don't be afraid to put those comments in there and ask whatever you want to ask. And I'm going to let Justin introduce himself and tell you a little bit about his journey.
Hey, cuz, thanks for having me on. I've been looking forward to this all week. We talked a little bit before the show when I couldn't stop running my mouth. But hi everybody, how y'all doing? My name's Justin Calise, aka August Knight. That's my pen name. I'm a writer. As you can see in the background, those are my first published books. I Am Human, Sisters of the Serpent. Got volume 1, 2, and 3. Is actually part of the I Am Human series, and it's all one book, one story, but it was so long I had to break it down in the 3 volumes, but it's all one book. The girls you see in the background, that's actually the cover from a movie poster from probably top 5 movies of all time. That movie's called The Craft, 1996 cult classic. And those girls, that movie kind of inspired my writing. As you can look at the book cover, I kind of made it to where, and on the book cover, they're walking towards the cathedral on Bourbon Street, unlike the movie poster where you could see their face. But yeah, they heavily inspired that story in my writing. So if y'all want, y'all can go check it out. It's on Amazon. Just type in I Am Human, Sisters of the Serpent. It's there. It's real inexpensive. Ain't gonna cost you no more than $15. And I don't write for the money. I write to get my message and my story across. Cause that $15 you paying them, I'm probably seeing $2 of that. If I could make them online for free, I would, but then I'm gonna be in the negatives because I gotta pay Amazon to print it, put the cover on there, ship it. So yeah, that's about my writing. Um, Other than that,
Oh, so you mean to tell me
no.
I'm not gonna become a
What you said?
so you mean to tell me I'm not gonna become a I said you mean to tell me I'm not gonna become a millionaire as a writer?
Oh, it's definitely possible, but I'm gonna tell. My saying is, it take 9 years to blow up overnight. You gotta. It's a steady process. The literary market is heavily saturated. And they got a lot of people out there now with the internet and Amazon. Anybody can write anything and go publish it themselves. So now that's even more competition. It's not like back in the day where you had to get a deal with a publishing company and all that stuff. Anybody can go publish. So everybody got creative minds. They got stuff they want to get out, and you know, that's what it is. So if it happened, it happened. Um, my writing is very cinematic, meaning um, I write like you watching a movie or a TV show in real time because when I'm writing, I'm picturing it on screen. I'm very detailed. I'm very specific. So hopefully it go on Netflix one day and it is a series or a movie. That's what I'm hoping for. But I'm gonna keep writing because I that's my passion. Like I said, I'm not doing it to become a famous author or anything like that. That ends up happening, you know, great. If not, 10 people can read it, and I'm fine with that. So that's that portion.
So yeah, so that I don't think I'm gonna pursue that. But I just want to tell the audience just a little bit more about you, Justin. Like this, my guest tonight is actually someone who has lived in this city from multiple angles. Right? He's a New Orleans native, a former athlete, and a former NOPD officer and now storyteller. So that's a long, long journey to take. And every chapter of his life has shaped the voice he carries today in his story. So make sure y'all check out one of his books. And I don't know if y'all guys, where you can buy books at, because I'm not a book person, but I think the last time I heard it was Barnes and Noble.
Yeah,
So
it's on.
right.
Yeah, it's on. It's on Amazon. That's exclusive where publishing that right there. So if they wanted to check it out, there's a free sample read on there, I think too, that covers the prelude, all of chapter 1 and half of
Mhm.
chapter 2. So if they just wanted to like test it out, see like, oh, if this is up my alley, there's a free sample on there where you don't gotta pay for nothing. And then you go from you could decide right then and there. But yes, there is a free sample on there as well.
Okay. So let's kind of talk about the beginning, how you grew up in New Orleans, and I know you were raised by a single father household. So, tell us a little bit about, you know, what did that look like for you growing up?
Well, the first couple of, I think until I was like 4 or 5, it was just me, my dad, and my sister. Um, but then my stepmom came along. She was great to me. She already had a son, my brother. Me and him got along great. So growing up, I grew up. Um, I would say as a normal kid. Nothing crazy, nothing like that. I had two loving parents who supported me through all the way up until I left for college. But I think after Katrina, which was in '05, being a New Orleans kid going to California, it was absolute culture shock. Because I was used to just seeing black people and white people and a couple of Vietnamese because they was already down here. And the Vietnamese I saw in my school, his they were all related. So then I go to California, I'm seeing races and cultural nationalities I ain't even seen on TV before. No, you got your Hispanics and Latinos, you got your Russian community, um, you got the Indian community. It's so much, and it got nationalities and cultures that you never heard of before. Then you got mixed races. So going out there was like, dang, I used to, if you wasn't black or white or Hispanic, you was Chinese to me. I just called you Chinese. That's what you were. You was just not. Yeah, that's what it was. So moving out there was big culture shock. And then I played football or whatnot, and that earned me a scholarship all the way in Pennsylvania. So
Okay.
I just I spent my childhood 0 years old to 12 in New Orleans. Spent my teenage years from basically 13 to 18 in California. Now I'm going to college as a young man to the East Coast. It's different over there. That was a culture shock. The lingo is different. How they dress is different. So I had to adapt to that. Then after that, I went to Canada to play professional football in Canada. That's a whole different country. Now it's probably as close to America as you go get, but I had to adapt out there. Then after
Mm-hmm.
Canada, I went back to California, and then I kind of been going back and forth from California to Louisiana, New Orleans ever since. But I'm grateful for having lived all these different places because it makes up my personality, my perspective on life. Because trust me, the people down here, when I say down here, Louisiana, New Orleans, Slidell, the West Bank, Baton Rouge, Vanderbilt, Covington, wherever it is, it's completely different than Sacramento, California, San Diego, California, Los Angeles, California. They operate differently. Down here in the South, you feel that Southern hospitality. We a little bit more nosy, you
Mm-hmm.
know. California, they real fancy out there. It matters what you wearing, who you are. They not as nosy. They ain't about to come up into the grocery and just talk to you if they seen you. Nah. They keep it pushing. The East Coast, they're a little mix of both. They're a little fancy, but they chill with it. They more laid back. Actually, um, I would say out of all the relationships I built from the different regions, East Coast people, they gotta be they the most chill. They the most laid back as far as I'm concerned.
Even
But
with the gang activity out there, you saying is laid back? I heard that the gang activity was real heavy
look,
in
I
those.
wasn't around no games. I was going to class, so I
Okay.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But like I said, I went to college in the state of Pennsylvania, but everyone who was at that school was from the surrounding area. So New York, Maryland, which they call the DMV,
Mm-hmm.
um, Virginia, around there, Ohio, those type of places. I I was the only kid who literally had came from across the country. So for the
Mm-hmm.
first couple of weeks, I was getting made fun of for what I was wearing. It's August. They making fun of me because I got on shorts and a tank top. They got on winter gear because it snowed 9 months out the year over there. I had to adjust to
Mm-hmm.
that. They talk different, all that stuff. So but after all that, when I came back to New Orleans, when I was in college, I majored in criminal justice, and I studied psychology. So when I joined NOPD, everybody always asks, "Oh, what made you join NOPD? You wanted to fight crime, you wanted to make a difference in your community." Negative. That was not on my mind. I'm not saying that to be negative. I'm about to tell y'all why I joined the police department.
Please
Simple.
do, because I want to know why anybody would
I'm
do
about
that.
to tell y'all because they
But
did this in
somebody
the
got to do
academy day
it.
one. Look, day one, they go around and they said, "Look, y'all go all stand up. Y'all go say who y'all are. You go tell us why You gonna tell us your age, blah, 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 what you used to do beforehand. You gonna tell us why you joined the police department. I'm like, cool. I already know what I'm gonna say. I want to serve my community. I want the politically correct answers. I already had because I was like second in line. They went the opposite way, so I'm end up last. Now I'm like, damn. By the time they got to me, all the politically correct stuff was already said. Oh yeah, I wanted to do this. I wanted to make it. I'm like, yo, what I'm gonna say? I'm trying to say, didn't I said everything I would have said? I can't say the same thing. I was like, well, what should I do? I said, you know what? I'm gonna tell the truth. So they call on me, recruit Khalid, stand up. Hey, at the time, I think I was 22. I'm 22. Before this, I played football. I literally just graduated college. I joined New Orleans Police Department because I needed a job.
You gave them the truth.
They started laughing. Everybody in the class started laughing, making fun of me, blah, blah. The sergeant told everybody, shut the hell up. He said, you know what? That's the realest answer I heard all day. And from that day, he had my respect. So I needed a job. I didn't grow up, I want to be a cop. I want to be a police officer. I want to do that. I did not. I'm gonna tell you something crazy. Look, stop me if I'm the story getting too boring or far, but it ain't gonna be boring. I went to college to play football. They say student athlete. The first semester, it was athlete. The student wasn't even in that part. Take student athlete. I did. I think I went to class for the first month. Yeah, I went to class for the first month, and I stopped going. I was playing football. By the end of the season, I had made a name for myself. I was one of the best players. Yada yada yada. You go home for break, for Christmas break. You go home. So I go home. I'm excited. Yeah, I made All-American. I did this. Mom, come inside. Justin, we got your report card. I'm like, open it up. I know I did. Man, I was killing it out there. What y'all talking about? 1.2 GPA. I said, damn, how? When you're looking at when you're looking at something, I was looking at it like, what they talking about? I don't know. They trying to, I'm like, no problem. We go get that. Coach called me. Hey, Khalees, you got a 1.2. If you don't get your grades up, you can't play here no more. I said, what I got to maintain to stay on the team? It's like, usually you need a 2.0. I'm like, no problem, I get a 2.0 semester. There's a no, you don't understand. You had a 1.2. So you got to get like a 3.5 next semester just to even it out. I'm like, oh, man. So I go meet my counselor. The counselor like, what you think your issue is? I'm like, look, I'm going to be real. Like, I'm not interested. My major at first was communications because I like to talk. I wanted to be on the radio, all that stuff. So I felt like, let me do communications. It's not what I thought it was. I'm telling you that right now. It's just, they had me doing theater and all this other stuff. I was like, nah, yeah, that wasn't me. Right. I'm creative and I'm maybe a little dramatic, but I couldn't do the theater stuff. So anyhow, there's like, what do you think we should do? I said, man, I need to switch my major. So I went down the list. I ain't like nothing they was offering as a major there. But then this is how college work. There's different departments. And those professors and the people that run that department, they want students in their department because that makes them look good. So when the criminal justice department heard that, like, yo, Khalees, he looking for a major, they was like, hey, come to, we'll take, well, bro, we got you. You like it over here. And I'm glad I did that because that changed my whole academic outlook because I was actually interested in the material that they were serving. And I had my professors were ex-CIA, ex-FBI. And I'm being serious. One of my professors, he got a documentary on Netflix right now. I used to see him every day, talk to him every day. So I had people who was in the field to the point where it was like, yo, what books we got to get for this semester? I was like, I don't need no books. I'm the book. And they say, I got the experience. So I end up graduating with like a 3.0 or something like that, which is huge coming from, I had a 1.2 originally. So I'm sitting here with this piece of paper saying I sat my behind in a classroom for 4 years, learning about this specific subject, but I had no intentions of doing anything with it. I didn't know what I was going to do. So when my back was against the wall, I'm like, yo, you got to go out here in the world and make something of yourself. I said, look, I got this bachelor's degree in criminal justice. What can this work for? Maybe being a police officer. So I applied, and I was hoping every step of the process I was not gonna pass, so I could have an excuse not to join NOPD. But I was living with my grandma at the time. I was like, I gotta get out of my grandma's house and go, So I ended up doing it. That's how I landed there. So yeah, I know you're gonna ask me a bunch of questions. Look, we off script. You can ask me anything.
I'm just
Referring to law
curious to know.
enforcement. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I want to hear about, you know, well, I'm interested in like why is it that, well, maybe at the time when you were working on the police department, they had like they maybe it was a lot more. What year did you leave there?
I was there from 2016 to like 2021, I believe. 2020,
So yeah,
2021. I was there for about 4.5, 5 years.
you in the era I'm talking about because I started working uptown, at Harmony Oaks. There was never any police presence around there unless they had a shooting. And then when they had a shooting, they had half the police department was there on a thing. Then I knew somebody told me they only had like maybe 100 police officers, 150. I see men that has retired, they're riding bikes with like somebody grandfather still try to ride a bike. So I just want to know how do they determine what neighborhoods they want to protect and which neighborhoods they have the least presence in. Because I had
Okay,
to write a letter to the police chief to get them to come in that neighborhood and become a presence.
so look, here go my disclaimer before I get into any of this. I ain't the chief. I ain't what I'm trying to tell the audience, what I'm about to say right now is not fact. This is theory and coming from my opinion as a former police officer in the city of New Orleans. Okay, first off, for most of my career, except for the last probably 3-4 months, I worked in the 7th district. The 7th district is New Orleans East. For the viewers that's watching, if you live in New Orleans, I don't gotta say nothing about New Orleans East, and I'm not trying to, shit on New Orleans East, but it's the biggest, as far as NOPD concerned, is the biggest area for law enforcement to cover. It's also a lot of crime out there. Is what I'm trying to say.
Well,
So
some of the areas are bad. Not all of New Orleans East is bad. You have
look,
those
I'm glad you
areas
say that. It's
because
subjective because what you consider bad, let me tell you something. You would think in a place like New Orleans, people getting robbed all the time, burglaries, people getting shot. Yeah, that occurred. But let me tell you something. Like I said, I worked there for 4.5 years. The number one crime that happens that I was on every day, all day, DV, domestic violence. So yeah, to you, like when you talk about like bad, that's like subjective, but it's a lot of just it's just calls coming out, boom, 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 boom,
Mhm.
like that. So that was the busiest area, the largest area, the area with the most volume in terms of what we call calls for service. To where, as an officer, when you go on a roll
Mhm.
call, they talk about yada yada yada, and you get your keys, you go on your call, you get the thing set up, blah blah blah. The first thing you put on is called a backlog. The backlog is a screen that shows all the calls that is waiting to be answered. When you in them other districts, 2nd district, 1st district, 4th district, which is on the West Bank, mostly that Algiers area, you may log into your computer on your look at your backlog. 2 calls is waiting to be answered, maybe 4. Sometimes it ain't none. You're like, okay, well, at least for the start of my shift, I'm gonna be chilling. The East, the highest I ever seen it was like 88. That's 88 calls that's waiting for the police to show up. I went on a call one time. I knock on the lady door. I'm like, ma'am, you called? She forgot she called the police. She called 3 days ago. She cursing me. I'm like, man, I just got back from vacation. I don't know, but I understand. Like, I get it. I'm not about to take it out on her. Like, I get it. She could have been dying. I don't know. But to get back onto your original question, I worked the 8th district for my last 3 years. The 8th district, Bourbon Street, French Quarter, Canal, which is kind of a little bit still part of the first, but you know what area I'm talking about, where the money at
Uh-huh.
in New Orleans,
Uh-huh.
where the tourists at. That's what you think go get more attention. That's just that's my
I'm
theory.
thinking
We
my
had
money.
cops, we
The
had
money.
cops on the night shift. I work the night. I like working nights. I like working nights because a lot of people, for some reason, think more crime happen at night. Not on the weekday. 11 o'clock, everybody in bed. They gotta get up and go to work. You know what I'm saying? That time between like maybe 10 and 1, you got some stuff going on. 2 o'clock, I'm parked under the Walmart hangover, so nobody can bother me watching Netflix or something like that. So I work night shifts. Some nights you'll clock in, it's you and another officer for the shift.
That's it.
That's
For the
it.
whole shift, for the whole
So
area.
I'm
For the
telling
whole
you, I'm
area.
not making this up, and I'm not trying to say this to downplay.
Wait.
Go ahead.
My life is in the hands of 2 people. That's why when I called the police, they came 3 o'clock in the morning, and you just said y'all was be somewhere
So there's a
watching
thing
Netflix,
called
and
there's a
y'all
thing
been
called
answering damn calls.
so look, yeah. They got a thing called code 1 and code 2. Code 1 means the crime is not in progress right now. So you call I woke up this morning, my window to my car broke. I kept the gun in there, register is gone. The dispatcher go put that on a code 1 because ain't nothing happening right there where you need, absolute service right now. Code 2 is help. This dude stabbing me to death. Y'all gotta hurry up here. Code 2, everybody go. If it's 2 people, then it's 2 people. It is what it is. But everybody coming. Supposed to be. All right. Yeah, if it got 2 people, look, it was a shift. It was a night
Well,
one
how many
time.
is everybody? That's
what I'm
how
trying to.
many
It
is
depends
everybody?
because look, NOPD already short, man. Because so it's not their fault. Technically, they don't got the bodies. What you want us to do now? They can allocate the bodies to more bodies to the east because that's your biggest area of concern with the most calls for service coming out. But like I said, that ain't is we need to protect Bourbon Street. We need to protect, and that's not coming from me. I'm saying what I think the thought process is. Hey, this is where the money at. We got tourists down here. We can't have people getting shot up down here. The east, that's what they.
Well, it's all about politics, basically. So the money that generates, because like the governor said, no, not the governor. I think no, this was on a Netflix. What was it? Come Hell or High Water, where the coroner said
The Six
that
Flags,
New Orleans, generates the money for the state of Louisiana. So we support the state of Louisiana, but yet we lacking funding for police officers to protect our own communities here. So I don't understand that.
I can't get into the politics of it because, like I said, I was boots on the ground. That wasn't my pay grade, so we made the most out of what we could do. But it's like I said, I respect all them officers out there that's trying to make it work because it ain't their fault either. If you short on manpower, which was the issue after Katrina, because a lot of officers just didn't come back. It's hard to, and then look at where law enforcement got a negative connotation nowadays for good reasons, So a lot of people, they not joining, and the ones who is joining, I went to the academy, half the class is from some other place. Now, technically, I was too, because I spent time in California, Pennsylvania, but my origins is from here. And like I said, I learned from moving around. I learned to adapt to my environment and to people. But like I said, my origins is here. I know how to maneuver when it comes to dealing with people, especially this type of people. You got some dude from Cleveland, Ohio coming down here to join the police department. No knock against him. But hey, New Orleans is a different place, bro. It really is.
I saw that already in one of the Mardi Gras, and I know these people. I know these guys were not from
It's not from here.
nowhere
Like
in
you gotta,
Louisiana. They didn't even know how to embrace Mardi Gras. The crowds, you can tell they just had a whole lot of anxiety just looking at the crowds, just picturing in their mind
there
what
you
could
go.
possibly happen in this
Yep.
crowd of people.
Then you got the
So,
officers who are from here who grew up. Like I've been to Mardi Gras as a kid. So when I had the police Mardi Gras, that was nothing. I'm like, oh yeah, then
yeah.
you used to this. You know how to operate. You know,
Hmm.
you see people running, take off. Some officers, oh, they about to do something. Nah, bro, they going to get the beads.
Yeah.
Oh, that
So,
woman, she just raised her. No, bro, that's tradition. Now, if this dude drop his pants, you gotta go. You gotta go address that.
yeah,
But I know the
that's a
rules
little
here a little bit kind of confusing. But you gotta pick up on that, you know. But some people, some do. They got some people from out of state who do a good job, you know. So it's not to say that you can't come from another state or wherever, come down here. They had a dude from Germany in my class. I don't know where he at now. I don't know if he was still there, but you know, um, yeah, it's law
I think
enforcement is not for everybody.
it's
I
not,
ain't
and
there
it's
no more. And it's not because it wasn't for me. I'm very I tend to let things linger with me. So I might go on a call and see some messed up stuff. I'm gonna be thinking about what I saw weeks, months, maybe,
uh-huh.
you know, and what my passion in life as a creator, I wanted to write. And I'm trying to write. That's why I first started trying to write when I was with NOP. That's one of the reasons I left, because instead of trying to chase the American dream, make money, as much money as you can, and live this type of lifestyle, I decided to just follow my passion instead. And my passion don't make me that much money. That's fine, because I'm at peace and I'm doing what I got to do. I mean, yeah, you got to survive and try to live as comfortably as you can. But I tell younger dudes all the time, I've been there, done that. I bought my first house at 25. I had two Corvettes. I had the fancy car. I was running around the streets dealing with all these women. And guess what? I still wasn't happy. I wanted more. I wanted this. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't until I'm like, yo, I want to do something to where I ain't worried about all that. And when I write, it brings me into my own world where I can control everything, you know? And that's where I'm at.
Wait, Justin, wait, I got a question. You heard me? I
Yeah,
have a
go ahead.
question. So you said working with the police department, you had three Corvettes. You said
Two.
working with the police force, you had three Corvettes, two
In
Corvettes,
my lifetime, I had
like
two.
two cars or
I had one. That one got told. I end up buying another one. I ain't having two at the same time. That would have been stupid. But I went and bought. Go ahead. You trying to figure out how I had the money to afford that?
yes, I didn't know police
I'm about to
officers made
tell
that
you.
kind of money.
Look, it's simple. Some people think it's complicated. Some of them people thought I was selling drugs on the side. I'm gonna be real with you. They thought I was doing all this. I said, bro, I'm gonna give you the secret right now. Everybody was listening in. I said, here go the secret. Don't have no kids. That's what I told. I said I was single with no kids. Who else I'm gonna spend my money on? I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't go to the club. I wear two pairs of shoes, all white Nikes, the Air Force Ones, and Timberlands, because I'm short. And if I'm going on a date with a chick who might be a little bit tall, I gotta put my Timbs on, give me about an inch or two. But when my all white Nikes get messed up, I go buy another pair. A lot of dudes buy a bunch of, you see somebody got Jordans everywhere. That's $200-300. I'm a very simple dude. I wear blacks, whites, and grays. Like I said, I told you I wear basically one pair of shoes. This is as much jewelry you go see me with. Um, and that's about it. So I had money to put in other places. I used to have money and give it away to people because I ain't know what to do with it. Oh, you need $500? Here you go. I lied to you not. Because I didn't have any kids to. I used to tell people in the police department on the night shift, I'm like, man, I admire y'all so much. I don't see how y'all coming to work. Some people working a night shift. They get off at 7 o'clock, go bring their kid to school. I don't go grocery shopping, go to their doctor's appointment. By the time I know they gotta go pick their kid up from school, take them to football practice, bring them back home, cook, get their butts to bed. 8 o'clock. I'm like, yo, when did you sleep?
They're sleeping in the car when they're watching Netflix, like you see.
My aunt
Instead of answering the calls.
Look, man, hey, look, but you see, look, they human too. They human.
Still, if my
I'm with you, but they human. Look, he gonna
no,
think.
ma'am. No, ma'am. Unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
No, you right. It is unacceptable, but I gotta look at it to where, okay, I'm a Y type of guy. WHY ? What does that mean, Justin? Okay, I'm about to tell you. I need, just because something is happening is not enough for me, and I can see it on the surface. I need to get underneath and see why. For example, you said that's unacceptable. Okay, let me see why this person is doing this or what's causing this person to do this so we can get to a solution, right? I always give this example of, if you walk into a room and you ask somebody how to turn on the light, a baby can answer that. How you turn on the light? You flip the switch and it's go, come on. That's how you do it, right? That's how you turn on the light. I'm asking. I want to make sure we understand. That's how you turn the light. Okay, good.
Yeah, you flip it. Oh, I thought that was like rhetorical, because I'm like, everybody should.
Oh, no, you're right. I'm just making sure we engage here.
All right.
That's how. Imagine if you knew why. Imagine if you knew why, when you flip that switch, why the light comes on. I don't know why it comes on. I just know how it comes on. I know you flip this goddamn switch and let there be light. I know when you go into a car and they got to push to start, how you turn this car on. I push this button to start. Okay, why when you push it to start does it come on? I have no goddamn clue. I ain't built this one. But imagine if you knew why. You'll never need an electrician or a mechanic again. So to me, why is very important. So you ask, okay, why is this officer sleeping in a car? Because he can't sleep at home. Now we know how to fix this. Maybe we need to get her some support. Maybe we got to get a babysitter, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's hypotheticals, but that's a lot of people look at, oh, this is wrong. This is this. Okay, let's try to figure out how to solve it. They may need to be fired and go find another job. I don't know, but I'm just saying that's me. That's how I like to come up with solutions instead of saying this is bad, blah, 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 blah. Okay, how can we fix it? I don't know.
But for me, I mean, as a citizen, and I wasn't in that role, so I don't know that. And I have a job. I've had small kids. I used to bring my daughter to school with me. It is unacceptable for me to go on my job, regardless of what time of the day it is, and sleep on my job. Like, that's unacceptable behavior.
You absolutely
so the thing is, before, like, that should be a question. Do you have the support that you need to do this job before the person is even hired? Do you have the support that you need to do? How about, do you have the scruples and the mentality to do that? I mean, because I just want to say, like, sometimes, and I've never had a bad experience in Orleans Parish at all with a police officer. I've never had a bad experience, even when I was in the wrong and I did some crazy shit myself. I've never had a bad experience. But in other parishes, I've had very arrogant, even with state troopers, I've had some very arrogant officers come up to me. You don't see any female officers in the state trooper, which I think is, I mean, I've never seen any. And I mean, and I did line up across the Superdome every day. So I've never seen a female officer. Now they may have one out there, I shout out to you, girl, you doing your thing, but I've never seen one. So
Oh,
I'm wondering
NOPD.
why is it that, and I know that we have a very female driven society, basically, when it comes down to the workforce. I'm gonna say that. But I'm just wondering why is it that when you go in Jefferson Parish or you go into the state troopers also in Jefferson Parish, you rarely see female officers, but in Orleans Parish, you see a plethora of them. And
Um,
it
I
being anyway, because and it's twofold, because with that being said, like if you know that the majority of your employees are females, why aren't they in this? Like those questions should be asked up front, being that this job is strenuous and it requires you to be on call at all times. You could be called in at any time. If somebody, I mean, if we only have 50 police officers.
yeah, like I said, that's a question for the higher ups. I was boots on the ground. I had just trust me. I want you to know this. All the questions you asking right now, trust and believe they got people on the job be asking the same thing. You know, there is not officers. I'm pretty sure probably in the country that's in the department saying everything is perfect. You know, it's just no way. Like I said, I was there for 4.5 years. All you heard was complaining and how things could be better, stuff like that. But they can't do nothing. This got to come from the higher ups, the people sitting in City Hall with the money. We
Mm-hmm.
can't do nothing.
Well,
I could talk to my sergeant, who could talk to the lieutenant, who could talk to the captain, aka commander, who could then go down whatever chain he got. Let's go talk to the chief, who then got to talk to the mayor, and who knows who the mayor got to talk to for something to happen. You know what I'm saying? And once again, to me, if it don't involve, everything involves this right here. Like, I'm not saying that gotta make them money, but if something gonna cost money, that's another 1 year delay. Because now I gotta figure out how we gonna allocate this. Do we want to allocate this? We could have put it over here, blah blah blah. And like I said, I never worked at the top, so that's just my theory. But as far as the female cops, NOPD got a plethora of them. And when I was with NOPD, I felt like I was in college again. That's just where I can't speak for the other. I don't know what the demographics is like, but you know
now, if I
of
would have
that.
known if we was gonna get that deep into it, I would have pulled the statistics. So I started to, then I said, no, I don't think we're gonna get that deep into it. But the thing is, I mean, productivity is important on any job. And the
Mm-hmm,
productivity for me as a citizen looks like I need you to be alert and present and keeping me safe, because I pay enough taxes in this damn city. But the
mm-hmm,
thing is and it's not the police department fault. If, like I said, like most of the programs now that are city funded, state funding, and especially under this new administration, is like the budget is really, really tight. Before this administration came in, I monitored budgets. Money was very, very stringent then, but it was a little bit more lucrative, but not as fluent as it should be within our communities. So if I'm a single mom, I got 5 kids, I'm a police officer, I work overnight because that's the only shift that the men gonna give me, because my captain is a man. So he gonna put all his boys in the day and put all of most of the women at night, or maybe it just fall like that because they have more females. I'm just saying this hypothetical, y'all. This is not a fact. So I picked up, like you said, the whole routine. I have no support. How productive do you think, and how moody do you think? Because they say females are more moody than male. How productive and how sensitive would I be as an officer if I'm dead be tired every day, if I'm dead be tired when I come on that job, I'm already irritated.
I tell people this all the time. Being a police officer, don't they ain't no. I hear all the time when these unarmed shootings, they got all kind of the stuff that happens, right? I tell people all the time, and the number one thing I hear the most is, "Where's the training? They're supposed to be, trained and blah blah blah. The training sucks." Let me tell you something. You don't get no more training in the academy than you get when you get hired on at McDonald's doing the fries. I'm gonna tell you what the academy about. The academy is trying to transfer your mindset from civilian to officer, so you don't get killed out there and you don't get nobody else killed. The training, the law enforcement is not the United States Marine Corps. They are trained. They have a specific goal in mind when they touch down in the field, wherever they're going. Kill and protect America. You could train for that. As an officer, when you go out on a call for service, that's gonna be the one and only time you ever get that exact call for the rest of your career. The next call you go on will be completely different. It could be the same call. It's gonna be completely different. You're dealing with a different person. You're in a different environment. The reason is different. It's like that. How can you train for that? I could put you in so many scenarios. You can't train for that. They are human beings. You could go to, I'm telling you right now, you could go to your nearest elementary school and get all the teachers, send them to the police academy for 6 months. I don't know what it's like in other places. I know NOP when I was there for 6 months, and put them out there into the city. I'm telling you, ain't gonna be no difference. Ain't gonna be no difference than the officers you have now, except for, I would say, now there are different backgrounds you could have that make you a better officer. They really like people that come from the military. They like athletes, like I was, because I'm used to working with a team.
You can run.
That could run. That's all I wanted to do. When I joined the police department, I just wanted to chase people. I needed adrenaline rush because I wasn't playing football no more. I said, this is the closest I'm gonna get to football. So that's why that's why I did it. It takes, yes, it does, like to your point about the different lives these officers have that could dictate how they handle a call for service. Real quick, because I know we got that much time, I'm gonna give you a quick, because everybody want to, when they talk about the unarmed shootings and how this is able to happen, and you don't just to piggyback of what you're saying about how someone's mentality, their life could affect the service. Let's take what's the most, I think now, George Floyd, that was when he put his knee on the dude's neck. I need a shooting.
Let's do the New Year's Eve shooting. That was the latest thing where it was a big old, we don't like too much attention on us down here.
Well, that was like a mass shooting.
Yeah.
I need an unarmed, the ICE dude. Let's just take the ICE dude in Minnesota, something like. Matter of fact, look, I'm gonna make it easier. Let's just do anybody who watches. Just think of a unarmed man who got shot by the police. Let's think about that. All right. And people want to know, or how is he, blah, blah, blah. Did he just wake up wanting to kill somebody? Here go my theory. I think y'all go agree with this. I'm going to use me as an example. I grew up with brothers and sisters. I grew up around other kids in a neighborhood where physicality was normal. We grew up fighting. We slap boxed for fun. We played football, tackle football in the street. I saw a dude bust his head open. And guess what? He went home. 5 minutes later, I saw him come by. He just had something back of his head, and we kept playing. I used to come home. My dad, mom would tell you, scratches everywhere. put a Band-Aid, peroxide Band-Aid. I'm going back out there. Okay. I played football in high school. I did karate. I played football in high school, played football in college. I played football professionally in Canada. When it was time for me to join the police academy, you got these sergeants in your face cursing you out. They making you run from hill to hill, all that stuff, trying to get you to quit. That was normal for me. I had people call me worse. My football, this running stuff, I'm in shape. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
We boxed in the academy. You learn how to subdue a combative assailant, criminal, human, whatever you want to call it. That's in a controlled environment. They ain't about to let nothing happen to you in there. All right. Then after you're done with the academy, you go to field training, which now you with for another 4 months with another veteran officer, and you kind of shadowing them out in the field, right? Once again, you got somebody there that got your back. You just teaching you the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
You might get through FTO not having to pull out your gun or whatever, getting no fight, blah, blah, blah. When you graduate from FTO, now you by yourself. And like you said before, the manpower is short in New Orleans. So people, to contrary belief, most 90% of the time you riding without a partner. The only time I had a partner was on the days where it was like full house, where everybody was working. But for us, it was like a Tuesday. Everybody was working that day, so they don't have enough cars. So now you're riding with a partner. But most of the time you're riding by yourself. Okay? So my very first day on the job, I had to go get surgery because, like I said, I wanted to chase somebody. So I went and chased somebody, not for no reason. He was wanted for something. I subdued him, put him in handcuffs, blah blah blah. But let me get back on track. I'm saying that all to say, when it was time for me to be like, "Hey man, you under arrest. Put your hands behind your back," and he was like, "No, come make me." Bet. I live for this. Man, this is why I joined the police department, bro. I need an adrenaline rush. I ain't work out all day. They cancel my gym membership. Let's fight. Let's do it. Now they either go do two things. They go fight you, but now they know you go fight them. So now they kind of, do I really want to blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. I lived for that. I was comfortable putting my hands on somebody because I've been doing it all my life. People been putting their hands on me. I'm comfortable getting my ass whooped, and I'm comfortable giving out an ass whooping. That's me. Now let's take that same situation. Take the guy from,
you see the comment, Nicole. Nikki said certain career choices require.
I agree with her. We go get back to that.
All right.
Take another guy. Maybe he grew up as an only child. He wasn't involved in sports. He was on the chess team. I don't know. He liked, I don't know. He didn't he didn't do any physical type of anything. He ain't never been in a fight before. So he put in his application for the police department. He get hired. Oh, you're a great guy. You got a degree and blah, blah, blah. Okay. He go to the police academy. He learned all the same stuff I learned. He go to FTO and shadow just like I shadowed. Maybe when he get on his own, the first 3 months ain't nothing. It's smooth sailing. Maybe the first year it's smooth sailing. He ain't never had to argue with nobody. But that day go come when he tell a dude, "Hey, bro, you under arrest. Put your hands behind your back." And that dude go say, "No, come make me." Put your hands behind your back now. No, motherfucker. Come make me. I back up. Right. Now he coming at you because what you think this dude about to do? He ain't comfortable putting his hands on nobody. But you know what he do got? He got these pretty little toys. Uh-huh. He got a baton, he got a taser, and he got a gun. Now he don't gotta use his hands. He don't gotta make you do nothing. I'm gonna make these things talk for me. Now you done pulled out your gun. He run at you, you get scared. Pow! Now he dead and blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of that has a lot to do with, are you comfortable? I think a lot of officers got to ask themselves that: are you comfortable putting your hands on somebody when your boys ain't there?
Because you
That's the
definitely can't be no coward. That police, let me tell you, two jobs that's not for the weak: a social worker and a police officer. Those two jobs are not for the weak
I'm
at
glad you use that
all.
word a lot because a lot of people say you can't be scared. No, I've been scared. I almost died 4 or 5 times on the job. My commander one time had to bring me in because we had an officer that got killed. Uh, Rest in peace. We called him Milk Dud. Right after he got killed, I was wilding out there. I was diving in canals. I was doing all kind of crazy stuff to him. My commander had to come and sit me down. He's like, "Yo, bro, I'm putting you on the desk for a week. You gotta call. Like, we just lost the officer. We can't lose you, bro." Like that, I thought I had a death wish. I was doing crazy stuff just because, like I said, to me, and I'm saying this in good spirit. I didn't take it as seriously as I should have in terms of it was a movie to me. I thought I was the Detective James Carter from Rush Hour. I was causing hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of city damage for a nickel bag of weed.
Well, you was doing a lot.
I was doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that was me. I feel like until Nikki Hunter got her common certain real choices require you to be held at a higher standard of behavior. I totally agree with that. Now we have to ask ourselves, okay, if they have to be held to a higher standard, what does that look like? You brought a great example. Okay, we can start off with not sleeping on the job. You know, you sleeping on the job as a police officer is way more serious than the dude falling asleep in the McDonald's drive-thru line. Yes, I get that. But when your department is undermanned and you need bodies, I'm not saying they're hiring anybody, but they got to fill these slots. They got to get somebody out there to do the stuff that other people won't do. And I'm not taking up for anybody. I'm a neutralist. I can argue both sides. But that is the reality and where we live with that. So that's that.
Yeah, but I feel that training is much needed because, and one of the reasons why is because so many people have mental health issues out here, and you have officers that are not trained in what those behaviors look like. Even kids that are like me have autism and have tics and things like that, and don't know, and God forbid the child is aggressive, like, and you're just taking that, you don't know how to deal with those types of behaviors, and then sometimes the situation doesn't end up very well.
I want to reply to her. She said that also means having restraint when you want to beat someone's ass. I need to acknowledge that. I know she's talking about me. Once again, let me clarify. I don't want to beat anyone's ass when I'm on a job. My goal, and a lot of officers will tell you this, I wish when I was, because I'm not a police officer anymore. I wish I could clock in, go answer the calls of service I need to in a respectful, professional way, without anybody being a threat to my life, the fellow officers, or any other civilian. Write my little report, go eat, clock out, and go home. I didn't wake up saying, oh, I want to go get into some shit today. Maybe when you fresh out, when you looking to make a name for yourself, like I was, maybe the first 6 months, I burnt myself out. After month 6, I want to clock in and go home. I tell people all the time, when you see them officers, not state troopers, that's different. Police officers on the side of the road with the tinted windows, with the lights off, look like they ain't doing nothing. Oh, they're looking to catch somebody speeding. Trust me, they're watching Disney Plus or Hulu or Netflix. They do not want to be bothered, and they hope nobody come bother them. I'm telling you right now. So I'm clarifying. I never wanted to beat someone's ass, but I'm going to tell you this. You need to have that mentality of nobody about to beat my ass.
You most definitely have to have that mentality when you working in the
because
surface business, period.
Right. It's crazy out there. So I know I never wanted to get physical with anybody. Examples when cops shoot people when they are running away because they are mad because the criminal um made you chase them. Yeah. See, look, I'm agreeing with you. That's part of what was your background? Who are you as a person before you put on the badge? If you was an asshole before you put on the badge is gonna make you 10 times more of an asshole. If you was chill, most likely you gonna be chill. I know I joked earlier, like, yo, I joined the police department just because I needed a job, but I'm gonna tell you this. I used, when I knew I was joining the police department, I would watch that show Cops. And I would watch it because when I watched the cops, I said, man, I would do that differently. I wouldn't take that person to jail for that. I wouldn't do this. I wanted that. So when I'm a cop and I got to do this, I'm going to do it this way. I'll say this. When I came on scene, the people who knew me in the area, because like I said, I worked for 4.5 years, it's like, oh, Officer Khalees here, I got a chance. I know he ain't going to put his foot up my ass for no reason. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's how you treat people. I arrested a dude for something. I don't remember what it was. Set him in the back of my car. Because it's not like the show where they chase the guy, send the dogs on him, put him back in the car. The sergeant come out, what happened? This what happened. Okay, take him in. The car pull away, then the credits roll. There's so much stuff that go on after that. You got to write the report, wait for the sergeant to read the report, approve the report, take him that. So I arrested this dude, put him in the back of my car. It's hot. It's summertime. I'm like, man, I'm hot. I'm thirsty. I'm about to wrap it up. Damn, the dude in the back of my car I just arrested, I'm pretty sure he thirsty too. Hey, bro, you want something to drink? She, man, what you got? Man, I got a juice pouch up here. I don't know if you. Yeah, man, let me get that. Boom, 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 boom. He handcuffed. I gotta pour it in his mouth. I whip it up, man. My thirst is quenched. I'm hungry. See, if I'm hungry, he probably hungry. Hey, man, you hungry? She, bro, what you got? Man, look, I'm broke. I got a little Lunchable up here. You want some Lunchable? Yeah, I'll take some Lunchable. I'm feeding this dude Lunchables, right? Do my little report. Sergeant approve it. I take him to central lockup. Hey, bro, good luck to you. All right, appreciate you, bro. A whole year and a half go by. Remember, I worked the night shift. We get off at 7, around 6 o'clock. We wrapping it up. Hey, man, y'all want to go to Waffle House real quick? We go to Waffle House with my crew, about 4 or 5 of us. We sit down. We eating or we ordering. The dude, there's a dude taking our order, and there's a dude in the back on the stove just staring us down. Yo, what is this problem? I don't know. Maybe he don't like cops or something. Then it was like, no, after about 5 or 10 minutes, like, yo, Khalees, he's staring you down. Say, yo, you must have did something to him. So I was like, I ain't really never look. I hope he don't spit on. I'm gonna watch him close. Make sure he don't spit on my food or not. Cause yeah, he eyeing me. We have our meal. I'm gonna get in the car. I'm like, hey man, here's my tip. Make sure the dude get the tip. I'm gonna go wait in the car for y'all. I'll go wait in the car 5-10 minutes pass. They all come running out. Khalees. I'm like, yo, what's up? Bro, we know why that dude was looking at you like that. I said, why? What's up? It's like, yo, he said you arrested him like way back when. I was like, damn, bro, I did. He's like, yeah, he said that, but he said you was cool as a fan. I said, what? He's like, yeah, man. He said you gave him a Lunchable and like a juice. I was like, I do remember that dude. Oh, snap. That's why he was looking at me. I'm saying that story to say who you are as a person. I've always been a chill dude. So when I became a police, I took that with me. I didn't say, oh, I could do whatever I want now. I made it a point to like, hey, I'm going to try to make it to where like these dudes don't have I know this is the worst day of his life because he get arrested, but I don't want to make it even worse. Let me do the little things because I ain't remember him, but he damn sure remember me. Yeah, imagine if I was just out and about walking in the park. He was like, yo, this dude beat me up when he arrested me, and he just wanted to walk in the back of me and blow my head off. I mean, he could have, but it's important how you treat people. And like I said, it's who you are as a person go travel with you, not with just being a cop or any profession that you do. If you lazy, you're gonna get a job and you're gonna be lazy. It ain't got nothing to do with the badge, except for if you already an asshole, because now you kind of got permission to be an asshole. So that's that.
Yeah. So I know we can't get into everything because I know you got a lot to talk about. I mean,
I'm
it
gonna
don't
be
get,
on again.
yeah, we probably, I'm gonna have you come back again next week and we could pick this up again because, of course,
We, yep.
people have questions.
I see. Yep. We go. Look, we go. We could come back next week. We could talk about. We already know we gonna talk about. We gonna talk about a whole ton of stuff. Today was like law enforcement day. But the more I'm on here, we go. It's all gonna come out. It's all gonna come out.
So, and this is something that well, was a suggestion from my now producer and booking manager. He suggested that I kind of have a person to come on, for a couple of shows to do like a series of, with that one person so we can get to learn that person and whatever product they have. So we can, like I said, talk shit. And we'll be back next Wednesday. Again, I think that's Ash Wednesday, next Wednesday. So we'll be back on Ash Wednesday at 6:30 to follow up with Justin. And I want y'all to make sure y'all go on Amazon and check out those books. What's the name of them again, cousin?
I am human.
I Am
Tree of
Human.
the Serpent. Like I said, y'all, they got a free sample read, so it might not be for y'all. Go read the sample. Go read the blurb. Um, that way, if it's for you, and then y'all go check it out.
So check out the book. And don't forget to like and subscribe, y'all. I need y'all to like and subscribe. I see I gotta keep saying that. Like and subscribe, so you can catch us on YouTube and Facebook on my personal page. So those who are watching and on my personal page, you can see it. It also airs on my Wind Down Wednesday Facebook page at KPR Productions LLC. So it's YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at KPR Productions LLC at 6:30. And like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe. And each week we're gonna be bringing on some new people. We're doing but this week is gonna be the same person, y'all. So we're gonna try this series thing out, and yeah, we're gonna make this thing work. And I'll see y'all on next Wednesday. Get you a drink and be ready to sit down and talk a little shit with us. Good night.
Thank you.